The following announcement has been paid for by Pro Wrestling Culture.
Dummy, yeah.
Be watching there. It's going to be showtime, and tune in to the podcast Pro Wrestling Culture because it's always showtime there from the Stinger.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in a new brand episode of Pro Wrestling Culture. My name is Aldo Fiadone. Here with me, Matteo Pagliarella, and here with us, the special guests of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Jude and Paris, the VeloCities.
Hi, hey, how you doing? Thanks for having us.
Hi guys. How we doing?
Very good. We're very good. We've been in England about a week now.
Just trying to, I guess at this stage, just adjust to everything as well.
Yeah.
Because we're just so far away from home. But I think we're pretty much up to speed now.
Yeah. We're like, what is it, 6 o'clock? We're tired. We're tired today. We're still getting used to the time zones.
This is a very hot moment for European wrestling because you are in England, you make your return in Rev Pro, and in the last part of this month, we will have the All In weekend, the 11th anniversary of Rev Pro, the another show of Progress Wrestling. So, what do you feel about that? That very, very hot moment for European pro wrestling.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Obviously, AEW putting All In at Wembley Stadium. We're very excited to check out Wembley Stadium. It'll be the first AEW show we've ever attended, so that's exciting. And then obviously, just like I guess a WrestleMania weekend, it kind of brings a lot of fans in and lets a lot of fans look at the independent wrestling scene. So that's the most exciting part about it. They got the Copper Box show for Rev Pro the day before, right?
The 26th of August, yeah.
That's the one.
So it appears that a lot's happening during that weekend, which is really nice. So I think for us, we want to try and capitalize on the momentum of the scene here.
Yeah.
And hopefully, not only spread our name, but also, I guess kind of bring some eyes back to the Australian scene as well.
That's always what we try to do.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna see you? Are we gonna see you in the Rev Pro anniversary?
Hey, we hope so. The last
because
show
I have
last week at the...
I have my ticket. So
you have your ticket?
And probably the 11th anniversary of Rev Pro have a full, much better card than All In this moment.
For now.
My opinion.
Hey, tweet that at Andy Quilden. That's exactly what he's trying to do from what we hear. He's trying to make the Rev Pro 11th anniversary show the most talked about show of the wrestling weekend. So that's the goal with Rev Pro, and we'd be very fortunate to be a part of it. At the 229 last week in London, we had a moment in the ring with the Rev Pro Tag Team Champion Subculture, and they seemed to accept that challenge for the tag team titles. So whether it happens to Copperbox, we don't know, but it'd be nice to think so.
Only for the Rev Pro titles, or also for the Impact Wrestling titles?
Well, I think that's up to them. That's up to them. Maybe it's up to Scott Moore.
Yeah, right? I guess how game is Subculture? How confident do they feel? So
amen.
Yeah,
we'll take them all. Let's go.
About Impact, you two make an impact during their Australian tour. So that was the first time that Impact Wrestling comes in Australia. you two are part of that. So, what do you think about that tour? About the impact of Impact Wrestling in Australia and your part in the show?
Yeah, I think it's pretty encouraging that Impact, I guess, can see some potential back home with our scene, and for us as well, having the opportunity to be part of the show was a real big deal. And from all accounts, it went really, really well. Especially doing into a town that didn't have quite a lot of tourism. We're able to get quite a lot of wrestling fans to attend the town of Wagga Wagga and showcase our abilities. So for us, it was just a really, really encouraging opportunity.
Very cool. There are things like that, like the Impact Tour down under that have happened. We have, this isn't Impact Wrestling, but New Japan Tamashii as well. It's like a New Japan brand branching off into Australia and having a presence in Australia online, like New Japan World. So I think Impact Wrestling kind of realized that there is, a bit of a scene and a deep pool of talent in Australia, and they had an opportunity to take advantage of coming to Australia with a government grant, and they put it towards putting wrestling in Australia, and I just put more eyes on the map for Australian wrestling, and hopefully it's just the start of more things to come.
Yeah, because about your experience, and you wrestled many matches in Impact during this tour, NWA during the World is a Vampire tour in Australia, New Japan. So one of my hugest friend, Johnny Puttini, the referee. Hi, Johnny.
Johnny.
Tell me, yes, it tells me more about your talent, your pure wrestling rules, and in particular about the eyes of the biggest professional wrestling on you, like New Japan, like Impact. So about that, after all of your experience, what is your future goal for you two as a tag team? Probably in a big company like New Japan, like Impact, like or Elite or WWE. Why not?
Yeah. You want to take this one, bro?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've had this conversation, I guess, a lot of the time of what the end goal is for us. And I think for anybody, it would be to make it into a company that's going to provide security, whether that be a WWE or an AEW or an Impact or a New Japan. But more so, I think for us, we've really been influenced by Japanese pro wrestling. So for us, what actually got us, I guess, into the mindset of Japan was Dragon Gate, funny enough. That's what we kind of adopted our style. And for us, I think we just see ourselves not only being influenced by the Japanese style, but having a real love for it. That for us, we would love to be a part of, the Junior Tag League. So, whether that be this year, whether it be next year or the year after, for us, the goal's always been the same, is we just want to somehow get into the Japanese scene. I think that's where we will really strive more than anything else. And that's not to say that, I'm sure if an Impact came knocking on the door or any other company that we would say no.
Who wouldn't?
No. So for us, I think any opportunity we would take. But I think in terms of what we would want, I think more than anything else is to really try and make it in Japan.
Yep.
And I think that's probably the best way to get prepared for anywhere else. It's funny. I think, you can make it, if you can kind of make it big in Japan, you can kind of make it big anywhere. And I just think if you've been influenced by a certain style, that's where you're going to have your best work. So, yeah.
I think it's following us, like wanting to follow a similar path to what Robbie Eagles and like Aussie Open have done, for example. They're huge everywhere they go now, and they got their big break in Japan, and they can always come back to Australia, which I think is the ultimate dream.
And
wrestling even bigger than it is.
Yeah. But about Japan, I have a dream with you two.
Yep.
VeloCities against ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Because in my opinion, these two tag team in this very moment, also with Francesco Akira and TJP, these three teams are the best for junior division. Absolutely, the best for junior division. And a match between U2, ABC, or U2 and Akira and TJP probably can show all of your talent for the Japanese fans and for every fan subscribed to MJPW World. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you to say. That's nice to
Absolutely.
hear.
It's true.
Yeah, I think that with all, what is it? It's 2023. We started traveling internationally around 2018 or 2019.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
With all the places we've been up until now, it's just made us appreciate and acknowledge the talent and the skill that we do have, which makes us comfortable to perform in front of like a new like biggest crowd and a new fan base, and we've always luckily been received pretty positively. So to go against a team like ABC or Francesco and TJP, like we're pretty confident in our ability to hang with those guys, or any other tag team that could be thrown at us. Yeah.
You have also one match in Italy for Squash and Chopper for the ASCA Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
And you are currently the ASCA Tag Team Championships after your victory against LG Clearly and Nico Inverardi. So what do you think about the Italian wrestling and the Italian fans?
We were very impressed with the Italian wrestling scene when we came to Milan. It was in Milan, right? That's
yes, in Milan. Yes.
Yeah, that beautiful gymnasium we performed in. Seeing all the talent on the SAJ wrestling was like a very good introduction to the Italian wrestling scene, because I feel like it's a promotion started by four guys that like love wrestling and wanted to help grow the scene. So big thank you to them. But it was just they took what I felt like was like the best that they have right now of the Italian wrestling scene and putting them into one promotion. So it's a great, like for people like us who weren't very familiar with the scene, a very good introduction to the Italian wrestling scene to say, this person's very talented and amazing. I liked watching this match, and then going and finding what other promotions those people are from. So it was really, really good. And we've tried to defend and showcase the ASCA tag team titles anywhere that we can, and any company that will have them on. And we, with the current holders, we've defended them a couple of times now back home in Australia. We have them with us right now. So any promotion that will have us in the UK that wants to have us defend them, please be our guest. Please let us do so, because we'd love to defend them as much as we can.
Yeah,
absolutely. Matteo, my friend, it's finally your turn.
Okay. Guys, I saw you last year in the Epic Encounter 2022 against OC Open.
Yes.
Yeah. I was in first row, and I was really impressed of you. And I'm gonna ask you if we are gonna have another part, the part 3. VeloCities against OC Open.
Yeah,
maybe Ring of Honor.
It's hard to say, I feel, isn't it? In terms of just,
I think it'd be like part 5 at this stage.
Yeah,
part 6.
So I think the way we've kind of tracked it is the first time we wrestled them was funny enough in England for Attack in 2019.
Yeah.
And it's we're not shy about it. We always really credit those guys for obviously where we are, because it's those matches with them that have put us on the map more than anything else. And even
don't worry.
Don't worry,
right.
Don't worry, guys.
It's more so just
too much velocity.
Yeah.
I think it's just more so, from wrestling those guys from the first match, we got a real understanding of what tag team wrestling is. And obviously, the one at York Hall had a great impact, I guess, on our career. Even more so in the fact that, it was like our first match of the tour.
Yeah.
2 days in, obviously there was a lot of pressure. But I think it's one of those things too where it's really hard to kind of one up the match.
Yeah.
If we do it constantly.
Yeah.
Because I think last year alone, we wrestled, I want to say three
times last year. Once in Australia and twice for Rev Pro.
And it's one of those things where it's been a year, I want to say, since we've had our last match. So obviously, I think it can be done again.
Yeah.
And I think we would love to have it again. But I think for this time now, it's one of those things where we've done it from, this bar in the UK to then one of our premier venues in Australia to then having that York Hall. So now it's kind of like one of those things where if we were to do it again and have that other chapter, could we step it up to maybe, does it take place in a company? Does it take place in Japan? Does it take place, So I'm sure there's always going to be another chapter there. I think it's just a matter of when it takes place. At the moment, right now we don't know, but I'm hopeful that there is another chapter.
Yeah. Those are guys that when you wrestle them, you always come out better. No matter how beaten up you get, you always come out like you've learned more because they're so great at what they do. I'm sure that we're both sure there'll be a next time. It's just that the stage will be bigger. We don't know when or where. It's just a matter of time.
Finger crossed.
Yeah.
Really finger crossed. And talking about OC Open, and of course you, we have now a lot of Australian wrestlers.
Yes.
We can consider it a very exploit for this Australian wrestler. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's one of those trends that I think we're really starting to notice. We have noticed over the last few years. So, you look at, I guess, across the board of different promotions. You've obviously got, Aussie Open, and you've got your Rhea Ripley's. You've got Grayson Waller. You've got Robbie Eagles. Currently, Adam Brooks in Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah.
There's obviously, Buddy Matthews, who's been doing a lot of work back home as well, with the same goal in mind of really building up the scene. And I think it really just comes down to, again, the training that we have back home. And I think the access that we have, we're very fortunate in the trainers that we have, because, for a lot of us, and this includes, our trainers, in order for us to get better, we've had to go overseas, learn these things, and then bring them back. And I think as well, as much as it's a bit of a difficult thing to accept of how far away we are from everybody, I think what helps is we are kind of in our own world, but that gives us time to really adapt and prepare and get better to the point where we're now here. And you just notice that trend of like, there's a lot of big names in wrestling and they're all coming from Australia. Maybe it's about time we take a look and find out, what the buzz is all about. So I think it's a very healthy trend. I think it's a great trend to have. And I'm just hopeful that the end goal is we do see more eyes on the Australian product.
And did you see when you came in Italy any Italian talent that put in you a wow face?
Like people that we were very impressed with?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Nico in Variety is great.
Nico? Okay.
I liked Adriano as well. Yeah, those two guys from the show we were on, those two guys really stood out to me.
Okay.
Well, obviously, there's also Akira. There's also a bit of bias because of obviously something. But I think in terms of guys from the scene, even I guess back to Nico, obviously Triple B, the tag team.
With Mirko Mori. Yes.
But Nico and Mirko won 2 days ago a tag team title in Japan.
Kyushu Pro Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
Oh yes,
in Japan. They won in Japan.
They've been wrestling, Tajiri as well and stuff like that. So Nico was a standout. But I think for us too, a lot of the guys there stood out. And I think also just for how inexperienced the guys were running a show, it was quite well run. We were taken care of tremendously. And as well as the Italian fans, they took to us really, really well, which we were, I guess, a bit worried about. But I think there's always potential in the new scene, and I'm hopeful that from our experience back home and seeing it growing, that the same can happen with I guess the Italian scene too.
Okay, and you guys, we know as a tag team, and do you have any suggest to many single wrestler to maybe form a tag team or a new face of tag team in Italy, or I don't know, in Europe?
Oh man. Taking two random people and putting them as a team, man. I don't know.
Motor City.
Oh, that doesn't count. They're already a very established, legendary team. I don't know. Hey,
it's hard. I think
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it either works or it doesn't almost.
Yeah.
Very simple question. Why you're okay with this? Why?
As in being a team.
Being a team.
Oh,
Yeah.
it just because it works. it's in all honesty, it's funny because I think with every wrestler, and this is the same with our journey, we started out as singles wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then it just came to they needed a tag team for one show, and then for us it just we were like, okay, we'll just do this one show. But from the outside looking in, there were a lot of people beforehand that were looking at us being like, you guys should be a team. So obviously people saw it before us, But I just think, in terms of tag wrestling, it's just so different.
Yep.
And we fell in love with it as well. And it's a real skill to have. And it's kind of cool seeing people that aren't in tag teams who do have matches. They might have a tag match and they'll come back and they go, like, I don't understand how you guys do this. Because it's really different, and not just that. It's real. You have to be selfless to be in a tag team.
Yeah.
You got to think about your partner more than anything else too. And for us, it's a specialty match. There's always going to be room for singles matches, but I think when it comes to a tag team match, that in itself is so different.
Yeah.
We just fell in love with the style more than anything else.
100%.
Things have worked for us, and I think it's nice being able to be in these real difficult situations sometimes, and I can just go to Jude and be like, hey, like I'm freaking out, or I'm really excited, or just being able to experience a journey but not like alone is like, I can absolutely say that I would not be overseas, or I would not be continuing this if I didn't have him around. I would be
okay,
like,
it's so important the support between you.
Yeah. It's just we have that old adage of like, it's doing something that you love with someone you love.
Yeah.
So
The best thing.
It's just it's hard to put into like a condensed answer. And I think you can always kind of do more with a tag team than singles. And that's nothing against, like, again, wrestling's an art form. Like I've had singles matches, he's had single matches even before and after we've teamed, and that's really difficult too for me to grasp because I'm so used to tag.
It's just shifting your mindset to because it's a different set of skills and a different psychology, and you have to be switched on in a different way for tag team wrestling. There's a lot more that you can do in a match with 4 people as opposed to 2 people, and this is my probably very biased opinion, but a good tag team match will always be more exciting than a good singles match if it's done correctly. It's just I think it's the funnest wrestling to watch.
And are you complementary or are you very similar?
I think
as a wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny because we often get, we're very similar and we are very complementary. But we are different too.
Yeah, there's things you can do that I can't do,
and vice versa.
And vice versa.
So I think for us, we just see the positive in that, and for the last 6 years, it's worked. And it's one of those things where if it's not broken, we don't really need to fix it. It's kind of just working out. And I think if it wasn't, complementary, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So it's been a hell of a ride.
We're still going.
We're still going.
It's still a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
Of course. And guys, do you have any dream opponent or dream match?
Heaps. Yeah, the big one for sure is Motor City. They were recently on the Impact Tour as well.
Yeah.
So getting to see how they operate,
It was amazing.
and their work rate is just it's obviously that's what we want to get our work rate to be that of Motor City.
Yeah.
So they're for sure, I guess, at the top of the list.
Yeah. Watching them, like, it's different when you watch someone on TV for so long, then you actually get to watch them live for the first time. It was really cool. They're definitely like a dream match. Another one that will probably never happen is Speed Muscle from Dragon Gate. Just because Yoshino is a retired wrestler now. He's retired, but that's
it's a dream. It's a dream.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dream. That's why it's exactly why it's a dream. So those are the two, probably at the top of my personal list.
Okay. Aldo, I don't know the time for the biggest
time.
question of.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Guys, we have the biggest question of all of our interviews, and we call it Erdomandone.
Okay, it is the
In
biggest
Italian,
question.
we say yes, the biggest question. Yes.
Okay,
Matteo,
guys,
it's your
do
time.
Do you have any funny stuff or funny moments that you could share to us in or extra ring?
Ooh, okay.
And don't worry, we are not police members or a part of it. Absolutely.
How about I mean, the way you eat a Magnum ice cream pisses me off.
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest one. Like,
do you guys know a Magnum ice cream? It's like it's the ice cream with the vanilla, and then it's coated with chocolate on the outside.
Okay.
So I like to eat it. You just bite into it, chocolate and vanilla together, because I think that's how it was made to be eaten, and it just tastes great when you combine chocolate and vanilla together.
Okay.
But Paris eats it like a psycho.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, I wouldn't
It's
say
wrong,
psycho.
bro.
It's different.
It's wrong.
But other people win that too.
I don't know.
So this is us. Yeah. It's the little things,
Yeah.
right? I like to work for the vanilla.
Yeah,
But-
you work for, bro. It's a treat. You're treating yourself.
I need to feel the work. So yeah, that's one way. Also, I mean, for me, I feel like every time before we go out through the curtain, I lose you for a split second too.
yeah.
I always, the last end of it, he's always like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get a drink of water."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "There's no time."
I know the time our music is, bro. You don't have to freak
It
out.
works out every time.
Yeah, it works
But
out
that-
every
but I just go, just one time. So like, do you need anything? It's like, no.
Yeah.
But it works out.
They'll always give you a little anxiety attack before you wrestle. Yes.
Well, I'll see
You
you
get
out
a heart
there.
racing in it, you know?
Yes, good. I think that they're the most like repetitive stories that we have.
Yeah.
We always have like our little quirks too, man.
Yeah.
Just trying
Paris thinks I'm a dork whenever I go to like a new city. Like we're going to Germany this weekend for WXW. The first thing I'm going to do when I get off the plane is open Pokemon Go, and he just looks at me like,
Okay.
I mean, I'm a very boring person by nature. So for me, it's just like, again, you got to find joy in the little things.
So are there some guys still play Pokemon Go?
Oh, so many. Wrestling's full of freaks and geeks, bro. We're all nerds. Yeah, there's so many. Like half the wrestlers are video game nerds.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So Aldo,
Guys, thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you,
Absolutely,
guys.
It's a pleasure. Absolutely,
Yeah, we
a
had a lot of
pleasure.
fun.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And I wish you the best for your future. Absolutely.
Thank you. Same to you guys. All the best for the podcast as well.
Yeah, keep it up.
Thank you.
And we're gonna
Thank
see you in the anniversary, maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe. Thank you guys. Really.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.